In this episode of the Funny Business Podcast, you think you know how to umpire a baseball game? Well, this Little League team thinks it knows a way to stop heckling fans.
And on the flip side, have you ever seen two potatoes that look exactly the same? And is water for breakfast acceptable? Mike, hit the music. Shots. Everybody. Mike, let's do a shot right now.
No. I don't think you want to.
No, I really don't want to. I just wanted to see what you did. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. We are here. We are back and better than ever. We had a great weekend, but we'll probably get into in a little bit. I hope you all had a great weekend too. And I wanted to start the show, Mike, before I ask you how you are and how things are.
Lovely.
I want to give a quick shout out to everybody who listens to us. Mike, have you looked at our statistics recently?
I was gonna say solemnly, but that's not the word to. Occasionally.
So we're not famous. We do this for fun. However, really, Mike, the last 2 months, I feel like our numbers have really gone up, and it's really, I want to take time to shout out the listeners. Our plays per episode have really gone up.
Yeah.
Overall plays have gone up. Our audience size is really increased. And I just want to take the time to thank you all for listening to us. We're just two idiots who like to talk about nonsense and have fun with each other. You guys don't have to listen to us, but you do. And I know, Mike, you really appreciate it as much as I do.
Yeah. I mean, literally it was just an idea during the pandemic just to pass the time away. And we just kept going and going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. And then all of a sudden, merch came out, live streaming, and now it's becoming part of our weekly routine. And the idea that people are listening, which in most cases at times I think to myself, boy, I can't believe people still listen to this episode. But, it's very fortunate for the support and very fortunate for the believing in us and in the crowd that we garner from that. So appreciate it all.
So thank you all. Mike, how are you? How are things?
Things are great. Things are rolling through, rolling in the deep, as our dear Adele would say. Just vibing. We're ready for another episode. At kind of a point in time, Matt, I don't know if you saw last week that James Corden did his last show for the Late Late Show.
I didn't know that.
Now we're kind of moving into our uncharted territory now without the carpool karaoke's of the world. But I know there's a lot of flack for James Corden and all that. But regardless, I think, he definitely had a good run of a career and a lot of viral moments. But hopefully we'll have soon our viral moment that will make us who we are with the support of the little people that are watching us right now or listening. So, Matt mentioned it a little bit. We had a great weekend. We were actually in person for the first time since trying to remember when we were in person the last time. Was it August? No, it was June of last year.
Was it? Is that long?
No, I'm just kidding.
You came to my
I
house
back in February.
I was gonna say we definitely saw each other like 2 months ago.
I'm thinking to myself, well, that was just that was a hop, skip, and a jump, my friend. That just seemed more than that was a blink and you missed it type of deal. That's referring to the time where I went to his parents' house because it was snowing and I had to commute to work, and I still commute very far to work. And God, I can't believe that. Wow, I can't believe I don't remember that. But we had a great time.
It was a great time. I had a few people over at the new apartment, which was nice. It was great to see Mike and Jenna.
Yes.
And some of our other friends. But let me tell you, hosting a party, it's exhausting.
Is it?
Yes, it is. A lot of cleaning to do, making sure the place looks nice.
It is your house.
It is. But it was a lot of fun. It was great to see everybody. Was I a little hungover this morning? Maybe. Mike, that beer that you brought.
Yeah.
That was so Mike graciously brought a 4-pack of, if you want to shout out which one it is as he's diving into. What?
I'm getting it.
Okay. Yep. What was it?
Sunburst. It's New Trail.
There it is. Which is funny because I told you I went to the beer distributor in the morning and I was looking at New Trail. I was like, I don't know which one he likes. I'm gonna get something safe. Ended up getting Raz the Roof.
Yeah.
How was that in a can, by the way?
I've had it in the can before and it's good.
Okay. Good. That was the first beer that I drank of the day. First drink I had was 9.1%. That f***ed me up like instantly. Like I drank that, I was like, whoa.
You realize
it is only 4
o'clock. That was a double IPA on top of it too. That wasn't a single IPA. It was a double. It was a DIPA. That was that's why I said a hazy DIPA, DIPA, a double IPA.
I saw the hazy. I didn't know what DIPA was.
DIPA,
makes sense. Yeah. So is a TIPA a triple IPA?
I've never seen that on the can, but I would assume.
Okay. Yeah. So a little hungover this morning, but you know what? If you get together and you're not a little hungover, unless you have to drive, you didn't do it right.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Responsibly.
We're sending that out.
Responsibly.
Oh, good grief. Yeah, no, it was a very good time. I was excited to see some old friends, and it was obviously good to catch up with my best friend and with Jenna along with the ride too. Matt, I know we love talking about certain stories that we find on the internet, unusual stories. No, we're not talking about sex. We're talking about Little League baseball. So get your mind out of the gutter.
Okay.
I saw this. I was like, we're going to bring back sports for a hot minute for this week.
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah, of course.
I have a new segment idea. No. I have a new segment idea.
Okay.
Sports with April.
Oh, dear God.
Would be hysterical. We were watching the draft. And it's just the past week, she's been I've been having sports on the TV and she's just asking questions. I had the thought of if we have her watch Sports Center for an hour and she just comes on and reports what she watched.
Oh my gosh.
It would be hysterical.
I do have an idea in the back of my head that I'll have to discuss off the pod with you that could potentially be a very nice collection, shall I say.
I'm ready for it. We'll talk later.
Little League. What do you remember about Little League?
T-ball is the most boring sport in the world. Parents take it too seriously.
Right.
They're just kids.
Let the kids play.
Let the kids play and don't give the umpire a hard time.
Interesting you say that, Matt. I don't know if you've seen this story or not.
I don't know.
So the Deptford Township, which if I believe correctly, Deptford Township is in, if I love doing my math here or my geography, Deptford Township is located in Philly. No.
Sure.
Wait.
That doesn't sound correct at all.
Deptford Town, New Jersey.
There it is. That's basically the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So Deptford Township Little League is implementing a new rule to prevent spectator abuse towards volunteer umpires.
Oh, this is going to be wonderful, isn't it?
Take a wild guess as far as what this implementation process is.
No alcohol.
No.
Okay. Yeah, who would ever drink a Little League game? God, that's wild.
That's awful.
No yelling. You can't say a word.
Okay, so if they do, what's the consequence?
They get thrown out?
No. It's even more awful.
Their kid can't play?
If a spectator fights with the umps they could find themselves making the calls during future games.
Wait, what? Hold on. Say that again.
So, in context, 2 volunteer umpires have quit in the past week due to spectator abuse. So, the Little League president says it's a recurring issue at youth soccer and football games too. Well, no kidding. So, the new rule requires spectators who fight with umps to umpire 3 games before they're allowed back as a spectator.
That is the greatest rule I've ever heard.
It is the worst thing I could ever think of.
That's fun. That's great. It's phenomenal.
I don't necessarily like the rule. But the good news is that there's going to be a certified umpire that will be present to ensure that there are correct calls, and that they hope that the rule will keep it a positive experience for the kids. I personally don't think so, but I want to hear your thoughts on this first.
I actually, in all seriousness, I don't hate the rule, because everyone, like, first of all, it's Little League. You shouldn't yell at the umpires. Get over it. Just have your kid learn the game. The parents don't take it too seriously, because no kid wants to go home after they had a bad game and have their dad or mom complaining about the umpire the whole time, or like having them get thrown out of the game. No one wants that. Just calm down. They're just kids. To prevent people from yelling at the umpire, this is genius, because no one actually wants to be the umpire. They just like complaining about it. And I think it's very easy for people to say, like, oh, how did he miss that call? Error is obvious. Sometimes it's harder than you think, even if you're standing right there, especially balls and strikes. That's the big one. Like, yeah, you can see like when a kid steps on the bag before the ball gets in the first baseman's glove, or like a tag. Balls and strikes are tough. I don't care who you are. I don't care how old you are. Balls and strikes are not easy to call. So if you're really going to be that person to jab at an umpire in a Little League game, you get behind the plate and do it. I think it's great. Yeah. I think if they have to do it for 3 games before they can come back as a spectator, is even better. Because if it's like some rogue dad or rogue mom that doesn't make it to every game, watch your mouth. Don't be an idiot. Just enjoy your kid playing softball, playing baseball, and let them enjoy the sport and let you enjoy watching them play.
I think what's even more challenging for Little League teams is with Little League itself. In most cases, when there is an umpire present or when there is officiating at certain things, there usually is only one official at these Little League games, such as football, soccer, basketball, even, or baseball, mind you. And it gets worse because it's like, now you not only have to call balls and strikes, you then have to call out outs and safes, and then you have to call out specific things like foul balls, fair balls, and like, the timing, not the timing, but how quickly you have to react in the thought of something being called a ball and strike, and then a person hitting it down the first base or third base line, and then making that quick decision to think, oh my goodness, is this actually fair or foul? And yes, that's a good point, because then the person who is a spectator, now umpire, has to do it for the next 3 games. They probably will sit down, like you said, will probably sit down a little bit more and rethink as far as what to say towards the umpire. But I think this is just going to cause more crap, because not only now you're going to have the person behind the plate, and mind you, for certain scenarios, the person who's yelling is a part of one of the teams. So like, let's just say it's my team versus Matt's team. Let's say one of my parents on my team gets belligerent and starts yelling at the umpire. They get chosen as the umpire. And then as the umpire, they're making biased calls to support my team. And then the umpire, the official umpire, is going to be like, no, that's wrong. And then it's still going to be this never ending cycle of bitching and complaining to the umpire.
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that the parent or whoever involved just umps like a neutral game.
Right.
Or like do a league that like they don't have any affiliation with, or 2 teams that they don't have any affiliation with. That's probably what you have to do.
Right.
But I think it would give parents a little bit more self-awareness of like, okay, that was wrong of me. Shouldn't have done that. It's harder than it looks. Yeah, I think we need to find rules like this or some other rules to try to protect little league umpires and umpires in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it's easy to blame the umpire for a game. But until you get behind the plate or you get on the court or you get on that field and do it, maybe it's not that easy. And I'm one that I'll complain about an umpire call when it's really bad. But I've always said, like, don't blame the umpire, especially in like professional sports. Like, don't blame the umpire for a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't blame the referee in football for a loss. It's really not the umpire's fault. Yes, they could make a bad call, but if they make one call in one part of the game, there's their whole rest of the game that the players could have won.
Could you imagine if there was a parent that was complaining towards the umpire and the umpire doesn't tell them until they come to the next game?
Mm-hmm.
Like he about to plop their lawn chair and the umpire comes up and says, "Hello, miss. You've been chosen as the next umpire for the next 3 games. Suit up. Here, let me get you a chest protector and a helmet to get started."
It'd be great. God, it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny. I don't think my dad was ever thrown out of a Little League game.
Neither was mine.
My mom either. No, most of the time my dad was my coach until I got a little older.
Yeah.
But I never understand parents that, like, yes, I will help my kid in Little League. I will never take it that seriously that I like berate an umpire.
Yeah. Typically, the only time, I mean, I've done it, so I can't say I'm completely, prude. Is when umpire, and I've mentioned this on a couple episodes ago, when umpires or referees make the game dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point of a referee or umpire, is to make sure the game doesn't get out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
And if a referee doesn't acknowledge that and doesn't facilitate that, someone is going to get seriously hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You could make all the wrong calls that you want. I would much rather, as dumb as this sounds, and I've said this before, you could be consistently good, you could be consistently bad. It's when you're inconsistent is when things get worse.
Yep.
I've always loved when there was an inconsistent umpire, especially for pitching. No, there was a consistently bad umpire for pitching, because you would throw like head height balls to the plate, be like, "Oh, that's strike 2." It's like, all right, just keep throwing them, because then they have to swing for it. But it's just, I remember there was an umpire that, it was Teener League, and we were away, we were winning, but I got called a strike, basically in the dirt, strike 3 in the dirt, looking, and of course I was looking because it was a ball. And I walked back to the dugout, and this guy was all about sportsmanship, and I put that in big air quotes, sportsmanship. Basically, he didn't want you to throw your helmet or like get upset in the dugout. And he watched me that entire time walking back to the dugout. And it's like, just play the game. Like, you're waiting for me to do something while the next batter's getting up at the plate, ready, and the pitcher's ready to pitch, but yet you're paying attention to me, putting the bat down, making sure I'm not throwing my helmet in the bag. Like, whatever.
I that's one thing I hate when umpires or referees or officials, whatever sport it is, when they specifically go out of their way to watch a player trip and then make a call. One story I have of this is we were playing in the semifinals. Was it my last year playing baseball? It may have been.
Right.
And it was semifinals. We were in probably like the 5th inning. And one of my buddies who I played with all my whole life, he struck out, and he was like mad, but like wasn't like, didn't say anything to the umpire. He came back. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He came out, took his helmet off, didn't throw his helmet. He just like took it off, went to like toss it on the ground, and it knocked over a bat, and the umpire threw him out.
Oh my gosh.
In the and if you get thrown out, you then miss the next game, which means he missed the championship game.
Oh.
Which we ended up winning the championship.
Yeah.
Just totally unnecessary. And then to piggyback off of your bad umpire story, there was one time I was playing midgets, and I believe it was a night game. It was like a Tuesday night game, like
Nice.
during the school week, and we were up like 16-1, killing this team. So I'm up in the batter's box, and this umpire. I think I've told the story before when I sent this umpire to the hospital a few times.
I did not.
Okay, so long story short, is a really old umpire. Twice I hit a foul tip and it hit him right over the chest, and the one time he had to go to the hospital. He's fine. But he was old, and when he got tired, he started making bad calls. So my dad was the third base coach, and my head coach was on the first base side, or they flip-flopped, whatever.
Right.
And I step into the box, and first pitch is above my head. Strike one. I'm like, okay. I look at my dad, and he just like shrugged. He's like, "What? Get into the box." I don't know what to tell you.
We're up 16-1. I don't care.
Yeah. Next pitch was literally in the other batter's box. Strike two. And I look at my coach, and he's just like, "Get in the box. It's whatever." The next pitch literally bounced before the plate. Strike three.
Oh,
that ended the inning. I was like, listen, I understand it's 16-1 here, but I would like to try to get a hit. I would like to actually play the game of baseball.
Bounces in the dirt.
That's not why I accidentally sent him to the hospital, for the record.
Were you pitching too?
No, it was a foul tip.
Oh, it was a foul tip.
Yeah, it was a foul tip.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Great
Strike three.
Yes. Great times.
But yeah, I like the concept. However, the implementation, I think, is just going to cause more rifts. Because then here's the other thing. What if there's multiple parents complaining? Then you basically have like a queue of unsportsmanlike parents waiting to umpire a game, and they are required 3 games to do that.
That's a fair point. What if a whole team of parents just does it, and then they just like control the whole league?
That's the thing. Like, there's a lot of flaws in this rule. I mean, this was a very valid reporting. I mean, this was 6 ABC, so it's, I think they didn't think long enough of the possible alternatives of, well, what if 5 people get into a shouting match with an umpire? Then you have 5 people waiting in queue for a Little League season. And we all know a Little League season is not that long.
No. I would never want to umpire, like any sport. It's not worth it. You couldn't. One, they don't get paid that much.
Right.
It's just not worth it. It's really not. The parents in today's days are just way too crazy about sports.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would want to coach my kid. I really don't. It's not the fact that I don't want to. Like, I'll work at them at home.
Right.
But like, as far as coaching my kid, I wouldn't want to be accused of like being what's the word I'm
playing
looking for?
Favorites.
Like playing favorites with my kid or like his friends. Like,
yeah.
I don't want any part of it. Let someone else give them coaching ideas. I'll give my input at home. I'll train with my kid. I'll teach him how to play the sport. But would never want to umpire or coach.
Well, I think that begs the question. It's very similar to an umpire. Like, parents will always complain about the coach not doing it right. But the reality being, do you want to try coaching? Do you because I volunteered to do this. I'm not getting paid to coach.
Yeah. And then there's also like, if there's a kid that's really not good in the infield, but he wants to play the infield, and like it's Little League, like you should let him play the infield, but at the same time, you do kind of want to win, especially when it gets like later in the season, and if it's playoffs, and then people get pissed off. It's so complicated when it really doesn't need to be. It's just youth sports,
right?
It's too much of a hassle.
Yeah, I think it's just important to when you have those practices once a week. I think I don't remember how many times we practiced a week in Little League. I think it was once a week.
I think I was like twice a week.
Maybe it was twice. I'm not sure.
Once or twice. I think it depends on like game schedules and everything like that. Yeah.
It'll practice.
We're talking about practice, man.
Yeah, Little League was quite the competitive nature for not only us as kids, but the parents as well.
My first 3 years of competitive baseball, I won the championship. My first year ever of competitive baseball, we went undefeated, and I got hit by a pitch every single game.
Nice. Matt Speed. That's it.
And sure is. I wasn't Matt Speed till I was older.
Oh.
I have as many championships as Derek Jeter. Not the brag. Not the brag.
Just a humble brag, you know?
Yeah. Just a fact. Just a straight facts, homie.
Yeah. Well, I hope that the Little League parents, at least, will be a little less combative towards the umpire. But I'd be curious to know if this rule is actually officially implemented. That will things improve? Will it make it worse? Hopefully, we'll have a follow up.
I hope so. Let's keep on keeping on with a little dude. That's crazy. Mike, I'll go first.
Okay.
So we got to see each other this past weekend.
Yes.
And we've talked about doing more things in the future together.
Oh, I was going to say more like we were talking about 401ks, cars,
we were.
Debt.
Yep.
Rent. Give me rent.
We're going to golf at some point this year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jenna has offered sage advice that I haven't gone to a driving range yet. So I haven't really swung my clubs yet.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll work on that.
Okay. I was putting on the living room floor the other night, and I had 4 in a row. Like
not the same.
Matt, you weren't supposed to say that.
Good job. That's very impressive. Putting is the most important part of the game. If you can't putt, you're gonna suck. So I have 2 golf facts for today.
Ooh.
Yeah. First one: golf was banned not only once, but 3 times in Scotland between the years 1457 and 1744 because the government believed it interfered with military training.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And isn't like Scotland like
golf was born in Scotland.
Birthplace of Scotland?
Yeah, it says in the early days of golf, players would golf publicly, such as on the streets or on business properties. This was seen as a nuisance. And then it says, in addition, football, in parentheses, soccer, was also banned. And then that's the end of the screenshot. So I don't know what else it says.
That's the end of the screenshot.
So there we go.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's crazy. I can understand that, but also it being the birthplace of golf, I think, and not that there's a little contention, but you would think it'd be a little bit more flexible because when did golf officially start professionally?
Between the years 1457 and 1744.
So it was around. Okay. I was just going to say, like, if it was gaining traction, like that was okay. My brain's just in a pretzel right now because it's like army training, military, like there's got to be some type of leisure, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's just funny because you think as golf is like a leisure, relaxing, although you'll find out it's at times very much not relaxing, but it's great. It's the best sport in the world.
I got a first place again, PGA Tour the other night. It was very impressed with myself. Anyway, yeah, golf. Yeah, I can't wait. Mine are going to sound so stupid. You ready for this one?
Yes.
So snowflakes.
Snowflakes. Yes.
Yeah.
No snowflake is the same.
Right. So people are impressed by the uniqueness of snowflakes.
Yes.
But potatoes are equally unique and no one cares.
How?
Have you ever seen 2 identical potatoes?
No.
Right.
Have you ever seen 2 identical apples?
Yes.
Oh, you have?
I have.
That's That's impossible.
I just bought a bunch of apples. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
actually, go get your
them.
apples. Yeah, go get them.
While you go do that.
Well, yes. So everything you can say this about anything. You can literally, like, no two snowflakes are the same, but the design of snowflakes is different. But like potatoes are different, apples are different, strawberries are different, asses are different, kiwis are different. Like everything is different. Mike has the apples. He is back. The bag of apples is secured. For reference, what type of apples are these?
Empire.
Is it Star Wars?
Empire
apples.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Empire apples.
Believe me, there are a lot of types of apples you have no idea about.
Yeah, there's a ton of apples.
If you've ever gone apple picking before, you have never felt so small in your life because of how many different types of apples there are.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The kids upstairs are at it again, by the way.
Oh, cool. So identical. When I think of potatoes, I think of the shape of the potatoes.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of seeing right now, there's a pair right here that looks identical right here, right now.
Yeah, but you have to inspect the entire apple.
No, it definitely looks identical.
There's no shot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like, no two of anything is the same. No two of anything is the same.
I think they're identical. But potatoes, man. We're talking about potatoes. Stop discounting potatoes.
Did you find this fact on the internet, or are you just claiming that no potatoes are the same?
I found it on the internet. Of course I found it on the internet.
Okay.
Potatoes don't get enough credit. Just go be your own unique potato.
Dude, that's crazy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was waiting for that. I'm going to go put these apples away.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. Oh, man. Potatoes are underrated. You know what's weird? We don't talk about the fact, like, when you're eating French fries, it's a potato. But, like, I don't like baked potatoes, but I like French fries. It's a weird thing.
I love how you've kept our audience so entertained while I've been gone.
I just said, you don't have to listen to what I said the first time you left. This past time when you left, I said it's weird that, like, people eat French fries, they don't think that they're eating like a potato.
That's exactly.
It's weird.
Anytime somebody's like, "Oh, I don't like potatoes," I'm like, "Do you eat French fries?" They're like, "Yeah."
Like tater tots, hash browns, home fries.
Show me your loaded tots, man.
We just got, Mabel and I got loaded tots at one of the bars after one game. They're not bad. Loaded tots are underrated. My last one.
Golf.
Yep. You know who Phil Mickelson is?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a golfer.
Yeah.
He's a left-handed golfer.
Yes, I remember. I actually knew that.
Mm-hmm. He is a left-handed golfer. Mike, me and Phil Mickelson are very similar. No. Me and Phil Mickelson are very similar. You are not.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Phil Mickelson is naturally right-handed. Just like me. So he's right-handed but golfs with his left. It is because he mirrored his dad's golf swing. His dad was left-handed, therefore he swung with his left hand. And did I ever tell the story of why I golf left-handed?
It applies to you, right?
Yeah, so when I was young, my dad wanted me, before I even touched the golf club in baseball, he wanted me to be a switch hitter. So he taught me how to bat left-handed first. And I never learned how to bat right-handed. So I was naturally right-handed, threw with my right hand, always batted lefty. And then when I was older, I tried taking swings right-handed. It just felt weird. So when it came time for me to golf, it was more natural for me to golf left-handed. That's how we are.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. The more you know.
I've never had that experience. It was all lefty for me.
Yeah, the more you know.
Wow.
But also, there's nothing better than like a left-handed golf swing is way prettier than a right-handed golf swing.
Well, yeah, because it's unique.
Yeah, and that's like, who has the best baseball swing of all time?
A left-handed hitter.
Who specifically?
Babe Ruth.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes.
the sweetest swing of all time.
And we always got an advantage because we were able to get out of the box earlier. Batter's box, I should say.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why
That's why bunting
Ichiro
is great.
Yeah, that's why Ichiro was, because I think he too was learned how to switch hit, because then he would be able to leave the box quicker.
He was a switch hitter, but Ichiro would like run at like a softball,
basically
like
a softball slap.
like a softball slap. Yeah, it's great.
Interesting.
Were you a good bunter?
Never was asked to bunt because I was always a nice placement hitter. Like if we needed a ball in left field, I could always put it in left field. If we needed a ball in right field, I could always put it in right field.
That's a great bunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was watching a college baseball game, and they just don't teach kids how to bunt. Like they just like stab at the ball, and I'm like, this is painful to watch.
It is the worst.
Let the ball come to you. Think.
Yep.
Run down first.
It's the worst.
But I was very good at like putting it right down the line, like halfway up the line. Oh, no, there is nothing better than like the perfect bunt. Like, yeah, you can hit a ball 480 feet. The perfect bunt is the perfect play in baseball.
Yeah. And it could win you the game.
Sure can.
So, all right, this is an interesting one. Matt, go to your contacts on your phone.
My contacts.
Yes.
Okay.
How many contacts do you have on your phone?
How many? I don't know how to look that up.
Go to you see where the little slider is, A through Z?
346 contacts.
Oh, boy. 642.
Okay.
Matt, as we grow older, our contact lists on our phones become a graveyard of contact infos of friends and family from the past that have grown apart from us.
Can you say that one more time?
Okay, so in short, we are getting a buildup of contacts from our past that have obviously grown apart from us. So there's probably 3 or 4 people in your contacts, and more, I should say, that you have not texted or contacted in a very, very long time.
Dude, that's crazy. There is a weird. It's funny you say that because there's a weird name in my phone. That has a fire emoji next to it. I was like, what the hell is this? And apparently it is someone from Tinder. So I'm about to delete that. That is deleted.
The contact total.
Yes, contact is deleted. Okay, there it is.
Nice.
Yeah, that is crazy because like, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going through my contact list right now. Don't talk to that person. Don't talk to any of these people. Oh, that's a contact that's get deleted. Delete. Yeah, that's wild.
Right.
Kind of scary too.
A little bit. But anyway, yeah. There you go.
Wow. What a great segment. Everybody always loves dude. That's crazy. Yep. Thank you.
You know what, Matt? You're awesome, you know?
So are you.
I really hope I do not regret saying those words in our next segment.
No, you won't.
Okay.
Because it's time for Take It. We have a food topic today.
Woo!
Yep. I don't think we've ever talked about this on the podcast.
Cheese?
It is not cheese.
Okay, good.
I think we did cheese before.
I'm saying it out loud because I don't want to have a repetitive Take It. We have yet to have a repetitive Take It.
We have, yeah. And at one point, we started keeping a list of everything we talked about in the show.
Yeah, well.
That list, we'll get HR to update that list.
Yeah. Our analysts.
Yes. Like, we've talked a decent amount about breakfast foods before.
Yes.
What about breakfast drinks?
Drinks?
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Breakfast drinks are great.
Ooh.
Mike, what's better? Orange juice or apple juice?
Well, I'm thinking as like a whole. Like, because there's times where like I can definitely have some apple juice.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just breakfast.
And then there's time to be, okay.
Yes. So what's better, orange juice or apple juice?
Before we get into the Take It segment, I do want to have a little bit of a off topic, but so let me ask you this before we get into it. Do you have one of these things for breakfast?
Do I have one of what things for
Do you
breakfast?
have apple juice or orange juice for breakfast?
Not most days, no.
Okay. So I didn't want to sway opinions or anything like that. So originally I used to have coffee with my breakfast. And now what I do is, along with my breakfast, I have a nice tall glass of cold water. And that shocks my day so well. What?
Continue.
That when I'm ready to leave, I'll make my cold brew, and then my cold brew is ready for the ride to work.
So you drink water when you wake up.
Yes.
That is the most psychopath thing you've ever said in your life. Hey, so you wake up and you're like, you know what? I could have coffee. I could have milk. I could have juice. I could have a breakfast smoothie. I could have a protein shake. And you decide water.
Yeah.
That's psychopath.
I don't care.
That's ridiculous.
But I do have a cup
blasphemous.
of coffee after that. So like technically I'm still having my cup of coffee for breakfast.
I don't know. That's just like boring. That's just boring. You gotta start your day with some energy. Like, even if it's not coffee, I don't say it has to be coffee. Nah, but it's boring. Like you can drink water anytime during the day.
Here goes our segment. In the wind.
Like drink water before you go to bed. You'll wake up feeling great the next morning. Have a glass of milk. What's wrong with a cold glass of milk?
Water's free.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Water is not free.
Yeah, says the one who has a faucet.
Has
3 faucets.
Yeah, you pay for that water.
Right. Actually, I don't.
Oh, okay. Nice brag. Sick brag, dude. You don't pay for your water. Okay, cool.
I don't. It's
Must be
included
nice.
well, technically my rent does count for the water. So.
Yeah, water is not free. No water is free.
Right, but if I bought a gallon of milk every day, that's going to cost money. Whereas
who drinks a gallon of milk a day?
I'm not saying that, Matt.
You just said if I buy a gallon of milk a day,
I can get more water than I can get more milk.
What is that statement? I can get more water than I can get more milk.
I can go to a faucet and I can fill up a gallon jug of water, put it in the fridge, call it a day, or I can go to the store and buy a gallon of milk. Do you know how easier it is to fill up a jug of water, a gallon of water on the faucet than it is going out and milking some damn cow titties?
I don't milk cow titties. I go to the store, I buy milk.
I just wanted to say cow titties. I don't know. Anyway, my answer is
yes,
orange juice.
Okay. Okay. Why?
Orange juice to me, besides water, is a nice alternative to a breakfast. Especially when it comes to freshly squeezed orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also have the lovely mimosa with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I actually got carded this past week when I asked for a mimosa. They're like, "Can we see your ID?" And I said, "Are you kidding me?" And that's probably the only time I have actually outwardly complained that you are checking my ID.
And Mike got up and walked out of the establishment.
Yep, I did. No, I didn't. I don't know. I feel like orange juice is kind of like the staple of breakfast. Like anytime you see those really nice photos of a breakfast spread, like there's always a glass of orange juice somewhere in that picture. Not necessarily your go-to drink, but it's around there, ready for it to be drank it.
Drink it.
Orange juice.
Okay. You're correct on the mimosas.
Yes.
You're incorrect on the pick.
Why?
For a few reasons.
Okay.
One, apple juice is great in the morning. I'm not gonna go and drink a glass of orange juice at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
You can.
Yeah, but like apple juice is far superior past.
Can you
like,
imagine
noon.
like a sunny D at like 4 o'clock in the
So
afternoon?
I've never had Sunny D in my life.
I haven't either. But I'm just saying it.
No. Once you get past noon, orange juice is legal.
I think orange juice has a lot more vitamins than apple juice.
Yeah, but I'm not just gonna be like, you know what? Had a long day of work, or it's hot outside. When working in the yard, I'm gonna have a glass of orange juice. Like, no, I'm gonna have some apple juice. Apple juice you can chug faster. That's just a fact.
Okay.
Also, there's two kinds of orange juice.
Pulp and no pulp.
There's pulp and no pulp. And you know what?
I like my choices.
Pulp is trash.
Wow.
Pulp is trash. And you know what else? When I go to a diner and I order apple juice, I don't have to worry about if I'm going to get pulp. If I go to a diner, I have to ask, do you have pulp? If they say yes, I can't have orange juice.
You know what apple juice is also like?
What?
Fast food. Because you know you're going to get the same damn thing every time, no matter what store you go to. It's just like apple juice.
You know what that's called? Dependability. Apple juice is always there for you.
Consistency.
When I want apple juice, I'm going to get the apple juice that I want. When I want orange juice, I can't always have it because it's got damn pulp in it.
Variety is the spice of life, my friend. So,
also, apple juices just taste more consistent. There's some orange juices that are just bad. Sometimes it's too tart. Sometimes it's not the same. Apple juice tastes great. It's apple juice.
I'll give you that. Just enjoy your juice box.
Mm-hmm. It's great. So it goes for breakfast. Goes coffee here.
Yeah. Water
Okay.
next.
Then way down, you got apple juice. Right below it, you got orange juice. And then you have glue. You have whatever Satan drinks for breakfast in the morning. And then below the depths of hell, you have water. That is the official Funny Business. No, not Funny Business. The official Matt Summers
Thank you.
breakfast drink rankings.
Would you say that where do you place milk?
So I just thought that thought. Coffee, milk,
Okay.
apple juice, orange juice, glue, whatever Satan drinks, below the depths of hell water.
So if you were given a choice between orange juice, apple juice, or milk,
Milk.
yeah, we could agree, both agree on that. Milk.
And one notch above milk is chocolate milk. Chalky milk fixes everything.
Chalky.
Papa Chalky milk.
Papa Chalky. That that brought back pandemic vibes.
No. That was. I think. Was that pandemic?
I think so.
Was that like? I could have sworn that was like 22.
I'm not sure.
Hang on. Still can't believe you just wake up and start drinking water.
Papa Chalky milk.
You know what I'm gonna get you for your birthday? I'm gonna get you one of those like huge gallon jugs of things that you fill up with water.
Yeah,
that like have different sayings as you get like halfway there. Keep going, but that's what I'm gonna get you for your birthday.
We saw that. I forget where we were at. We saw that. It was like Jenna's like, I'm gonna need this. I'm like, no, you do not. Knowyourmeme.com. Papa Chalky milk. January 14th, 2021.
Okay.
So we're still hopping around the pandemic.
Yep.
So
yep.
The panini. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, that was wonderful, Matt.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll consider getting some apple juice or orange juice in replacement of my milk. I mean, my water, I mean.
Sure. Yeah. I highly recommend it.
So, well, thank you all so much for another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. You can find all of our good stuff at solo.to/funnybusiness. Matt, I know you're probably recovering from your nice popcorn stream that we had this past week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can't forget about that. What a wonderful night it was. Hit a lot of clips. Was just absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this because we haven't done it yet at the time
We
of this
have not.
recording. So,
But it is
gonna be
going to
lit.
and will. It was amazing.
oh shoot, that reminds me. I actually do have to make that clip, by the way.
Mhm.
Anyway, Mr. Matthew,
Yes.
what is your advice for the good coworkers of the funny business world?
Get your nutrients. An example of getting your nutrients, obviously today, as for this recording, a little hungover. Fun fact: when I am hungover, I do not have the biggest appetite in the world.
Yep.
So we went out for food. I got a chicken avocado ciabatta, which was very good, but after half of it, stomach didn't feel so great, so I stopped.
All right.
So I know I don't eat a lot when I'm a little hungover. So what I did was I stopped at a smoothie company, and no free ads. Smoothie company. So I got a smoothie with some protein in it, some fruits. I think this one was pineapple, strawberry with like a kiwi apple juice blend and some protein things in it. So is it like, obviously I'm going to eat a little something, but this will
Right.
keep my nutrients going up while I'm not eating a lot. So just take care of your body in any way that you can.
That's great advice, Matt. That's actually very healthy advice.
It is. Thank you.
So.
And also don't drink water when you wake up in the morning.
I will gladly continue to drink my water. That concludes another episode. Until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.